This is problem 1.14 from Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book from chapter 1. Here's the position. We're blue. Our home board's in the bottom right. We rolled a 6-2. We'll look at three possible moves for the 6-2. I'll give you my thoughts, Tardieu's analysis with feedback from XG, Tardieu's key points, and the summary, and then I'll modify the position. Here's the first possible move, 24-16. End up like this. Runs back checker to the outfield in hopes of either escaping it or covering it next roll. Runs when white is trying to prime us in. Fails to bring a builder down from the midpoint. And it breaks connectivity between our two back checkers. Second possible move is 24-22, 13-7, looking like this. Gets our back checkers moving, hopefully thwarting white's oncoming prime. Adds a builder to our 7-point. These are back checkers vulnerable to being hit. Helps to develop both sides of our board. Third possibility is to bring two down from the midpoint, 13-11, 13-7, like this. Does take two checkers off our midpoint, which is stacked at the moment, but does strip the midpoint also by doing that. Does add two builders to our outfield points here. Take a look at the three final positions. Look at the pip count, the strength of each position, each player's board, and the threats facing each player. Here's a final look at the first possible move, 24-16. We're running one of our back checkers. Here's a final look at our second possible move, 24-22, 13-7, where we're developing both sides of our board. And there's a third possible move, final position, bringing two down from the bar point. Look at all three moves. Look at all features of the position in each final position board and make your decision which move you would make. And then let's look at Tardieu's analysis with feedback from XG, and then his points, key points, and his summary. 13-11, 13-7 does bring two builders down to potentially improve our home board, but it doesn't do anything to strengthen us from white's oncoming prime. 24-16 does run out to the 16-point, mobilizes our back checker, attempts to escape white's oncoming prime, but it does nothing to further our side of the board, our offensive board. 24-22, 13-7 addresses both our defensive goals and offensive goals. White's trying to prime us in on the 24, so moving 24-22, stepping up to the 22, gets us into position to jump out. White's going to try to mobilize these back checkers of his. So moving 13-7 creates a useful spare on the 7, which can be used to break without breaking the bar point. This poses a threat anytime white attempts to escape one of their back checkers. So this is the best move. Tardieu's key points. Here, we're lagging behind in our development. White already has the best 3-point board and is threatening to extend his prime with checkers from the midpoint. Anticipating our opponent's preferred and most likely next move is a useful way of finding the right approach to thwart their plans. White's plan is to take advantage of his strong inner board, and he's unafraid of being hit, so he'll activate his back checkers. Move these back checkers. He's not afraid of being hit. To secure an advanced anchor, and he's going to try to improve his prime by making points on the 16, 17, or 18. Only 24, 22, 13, 7 will effectively help to prevent White from achieving both objectives. Our offensive mindset, what we should be thinking about is bringing this checker down to the 7 is a useful spare that can be deployed without breaking our bar point. And that's going to be posing a threat to White anytime he tries to escape. So bringing this checker down to the 7 is going to be helpful to keep these two checkers back. Defensively, we should be thinking that splitting to the 22 is going to help us to step up against White's fledgling oncoming prime, getting our back checkers into position to jump out, and reducing the effectiveness of his prime. In the short term, they can also double his coverage, White's outfield, reducing mobility of spares on the midpoint, aiming 7, 8, and 9 points. So moving out here, you're preventing White from exposing more on these outfield points. You have a better shot of hitting him if he does expose out here. Conclusion, even though our inner board is weaker, we must split our back checkers and keep them communicating with one another. It's our only chance to stop White from having free hand to develop his board and deploy his checkers safely. Tardieu summary, page 61 of the book. By anticipating our opponent's desired and most likely next moves, we can identify which of our moves take priority. We know White's going to try to improve his prime and step out, so we're going to make a move that addresses both of those. I modify the position so that I give us a stronger board here, a stronger home board. We don't have to worry about getting hit so much because we have the stronger home board. We have 3 points covered. Opponent has 2. We can be playing more boldly. We can come out 24, 18, and then down 13, 11 and attempt to get this advanced anchor. Now either 24, 18, 13, 11 or 24, 22, 13, 7 are just as effective as each other. Play a little more boldly and try to get that advanced anchor when we have a stronger home board than White.